dropship Roanoke to control, making final approach for delivery of supply requisitioned B9-3Q and prisoner AP-127.
This is control to Marine dropship Roanoke. Landing platform is in position. You are cleared to land Roanoke.
Well, slow down. Don't speed up. Coming in hot.
Tower to control room. The main gun is offline.
I'm assuming this is some sort of prison planet. Hello. What are they doing to this guy? You got a little, BioForge. Look at that hand. Look at that hand. Alright, so I've heard that this one is, wacko. I did check it out just to see. I have no idea what most of the controls are, or some of the controls. I'm just gonna go with easy combat so I don't overwhelm myself. I'm assuming this is my dude.
Subject must stay in bunk. Recuperation is mandatory. Subject must comply with all instructions.
Okay.
Subject must stay in bunk. Recuperation is mandatory.
Look at how crispy these graphics
Comply
are.
with all instructions. Subject must stay in bunk. Recuperation is mandatory. Subject must comply with all instructions.
Combat mode.
Subject must stay in
Ow.
bunk. Recuperation is mandatory. Subject must stay in
My vision
bunk.
begins to blur.
Recuperation is mandatory.
Am I dead already?
Subject must comply with all instructions. Subject must
There we go.
comply with all instructions. Subject must comply with all instructions.
Backflip.
Subject must comply with all instructions.
No, I was complying last
Comply
time,
with all instructions.
and you totally zapped me. Boom! Yeah. Alright, how do I pick things up?
A logbook.
A logbook. I know what they will do to me. They will mutilate my flesh and make it into something inhuman. They can completely alter the state of my mind, but they shall not break my spirit. I am determined. I swear with every ounce of my will that who I am, my internal nature, cannot be twisted or cut out of me. No matter what occurs, I will remain unchanged. No. You put it away. Well,
A
no.
logbook.
I mean, I imagine I can go into combat mode and that seemed to do it. What is this?
A hunk of meat.
A hunk of meat. Experimental Unit AP-127. Journal. That robot put me to sleep. They could have killed me while I was unconscious, but they didn't. They must want me alive. I wish I could take some sort of comfort in that. Perhaps I could if I knew who they were. I heard a cry of agony from beyond my cell. A guard? Another prisoner? Did I write what is in this book here in my cell? I don't remember writing it. It sort of sounds like me. It's hard to tell without any basis of comparison. My body is some sort of machine, but I can tell that I was once human. I am a cyborg. Who made me this way? Why did they? How could I have let them? Sounds like you didn't have a whole lot of choice there, pal. Energy. Looks like I can maybe repair myself if I get hurt. Yes. Enter caption. BioForge. There, that's how you spell it, right? Okay. Whoops. Okay, so D is diagnostics. Seems to be the shortcut. Don't get zapped by the thing. Oh, hello, Bloomin'. Is this your arm?
A severed arm.
This must belong to him.
If you come from the fork, you'll be sorely disappointed.
For the what? The fork? Do you want this?
You stand upon holy ground. It's fitting you should kneel.
Well, I mean...
We should not be enemies. We should work together. You have two arms. One must be removed.
Did you do that on purpose?
I have no wish to harm you.
But I will anyway. I'm just being show-offy now. Ow.
random looping of your entrails.
This guy's heavy metal.
We should not be enemies. We should work. I had no wish to harm you.
I do now, because you've killed me several times.
We should not be enemies. I had no wish to harm you.
Gotcha.
I'm
Next,
sorry, my friend. We are both victims, you and I.
next time, stay at school.
A photograph.
Photograph. Cool. That was not, that was definitely...
Fork.
Oh, the fork.
A fork.
A fork? I can eat things with that. I can't search his body or anything. Logbook.
A logbook.
I can still hear Dane in the other cell. They beat him pretty bad. So bad they called down from control and ordered them to stop. I should be treated a little better than that. It's unfitting for any Mondite to die in a place like this. I don't know why I'm writing this down. This log is the only thing I have in my cell besides the picture. Pretty. I wish I knew her name. I guess I always believed that my former comrades would show me mercy, for I was once one of them. Now I know that is the exact opposite. Now I know that the exact opposite is true. They see me as a traitor. Well, they are very capable of inflicting cruelty on a total stranger, as was I when I was one of them. It was just as likely that they wouldn't, in my case. They specifically seek out some horrible form of revenge for me. I can't be saved by fate or random chance. I wish they'd let me get it over with. They tell me I am to be turned over to Mastava. He's a butcher, a psychotic. Those goons can gibber all they want. I can see in their eyes that I am not the only one afraid of him. I refuse to believe it. It has to be some form of psychological torture. They must be reading this. Do you hear me, Mert? I know you are bluffing. Amdant, you pederast. You don't frighten me. I'm being prepped for surgery. I resisted the shocks and injections as best I could, but they won. In a minute they will be back to take me to control level. I wonder if they're planning to do the same to Dane. I wonder how the patient in cell 3 feels right now. Whoopsie daisy. They did it. It's over. Is that the worst you can do, Mastava, you bastard? I dreamed I was back home. My parents were still alive. I am exhausted and in pain, but I feel like I can pull through this. I need rest. They actually left food for me. I'm not hungry. Too tired to get it anyway. Need more sleep. Somebody rigged one of the tower bots with an injector and wired in a med software box. It looks like Ingsvork. My own private nurse. If I try to get up, it will inject me with who knows what. If I lie down, it seems to leave me alone. My skull feels like it's about to split open. I want to sleep, but I can't. That robot is watching me every second. It won't let me get up. Mastava came by to examine me. He looked upset, perhaps disappointed. Whatever he tried to do to me must not have taken right. They can't operate on me again. I'm too weak now. It'll kill me. Something's wrong. I'm hearing a weird trilling noise. It changes pitch from high to low, sometimes in patterns of short bursts, and other times in long and constant noise. It's taken me nearly an hour of lying here on this bunk to figure out that it isn't coming from anywhere in the cell. It's in my head. My skin itches all over. It's impossible to lie still. I want to peel it off with my fingers. I'm trying to block out the noise and think of something else, but I can't. I just want to sleep. Why won't they let me sleep? What did they do to me? Robot won't let me off the bed. I know they're watching me on the monitor. The noise in my head is careening out of control. There's blood all over my fingers from the scratching. Maybe they've invented some terrible new way to die, and I am the first one they've ever tried it on. I wish it would just happen right now. It's all stopped. It's very quiet. I must rest. It's a very bizarre practical joke. That is the only logical explanation. I love the color. Blue has always been my favorite. I've just read back the entire contents of this journal. I will assume that because I am blue, as is the author from the last entry, that I am the person who wrote it. I may be mistaken about that, I'm not sure. Despite the confinement, I have to say that I am very much enjoying this situation. Now that the last of my old thoughts and memories have been erased from my mind, I am finally free to become the person that I originally always was. It's a very liberating concept. I saw Father again while I was asleep. He wore a red mask. We talked for a while, and he warned me about this fellow mastaba that I read about in the book. I don't dream about Mother anymore. Mother fusses over me, so every time I try to leave my bed, she tucks me back in. I wish she'd stop treating me like a child. Something terrible has happened. I wanted to go for a walk around the room. Mother said that I should rest. We started arguing, and in a fit of anger, I killed her. What shall I do now? When the guards came, I confessed my crime to them. At first they gave me a long look of disbelief, and then they started laughing. I was shocked several times, but I was able to make them stop. After they left, I noticed that my food was gone. Perhaps I shall be punished by being starved to death. It is only fitting given the severity of what I have done. Fools! When they took the food, they forgot the fork. I nearly wept when they returned. Imagine my relief when I saw they'd only come to collect what I kept from that young gentleman's face. I know things no one else knows. They think I am mad, but I assure you, the fork is the key to my whole world. Mother has gone to a better place, and I have my fork. So far, my plan has been working perfectly. I am making significant progress. I am certain that I have nearly succeeded in convincing several of my guards that they are in fact really lizards. We aren't hitchhiking anymore, we're riding. The buzzing in my ears has become so loud I have to scream at the top of my lungs just to hear myself think. Whoever is playing the flute, I wish they'd stop it. Dane down the hall is my only friend. The picture he gave me keeps me company. If I ever see him again, I really shall have to kill him. I think I'm starting to get hungry. Now I understand. All along it is I who keep them prisoner. They desperately want to escape here into my world, but they cannot, for I guard them well. Something inexplicable is happening. The world is on fast forward. I no longer understand what people say. Mine makes sense, no feeling the talk out of my face. Time is now a big round circle of things. Chewing when the eyes come. It's so loud these days it's completely dark. What surgery made me, can't think of it. Lost either myself or else the whole universe somewhere. Hunt the warm. Vacuum. No entry. No entry. Itchy tasty. End. That dude was bonkers. So I'm glad he's dead now. Dang, this guy trashed his cell. Where's his bed? Does he not get a bed? You know what? I better save it. Blue-mended. Good running. Let's get a good look at my guy here. Kind of has some ape-like qualities. It's like a reverse Kano with that red eye. It's got some pretty sweet idle animations though, that's for sure. Alright, Silverman, how are we going to get out of here? Cell 2. So I'm assuming I'm not Dane. Can I turn these? No, I suppose not. There's probably some central thing where I can turn this stuff off. Can I open this? I can. Oops. Reactor breached? Is that what it's saying? What? Fork. Eating utensil. Fork. Composition. Common steel alloy. Weight. 8 RG, whatever that is. Utensil is unsanitary. Oh, there we go. Nice. Oh. Oh. That was, incorrect. Didn't kill me, though, so that's good. Okay, so... There we go. I did it. Well, hang on, let's see. Let's see if I can get into those cells then.
A fork.
A fork? Don't believe it. Okay, no. You can't, like... You can walk and turn, but you can't, like, run and turn. Door open.
This is Control to Marine Dropship Ronik. Landing platform is in position. You are cleared to land, Ronik.
It's the same ship from
This
earlier.
is Marine Dropship Ronik, now making final approach.
Marine dropship Chelio standing by.
You guys better hurry. Another prisoner has escaped. I'm looking at him on the monitor now. In the guard room.
You must not reach the excavation site.
Must
Sit
have
tight,
been.
we're almost there. And
All
we're
these-
bringing a little extra firepower to deal with your escaped prisoner.
No.
He's gonna be no trouble at all.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor
Security.
breach. Overload imminent.
Access.
Warning. Reactor breach. Overload
Enter security
imminent.
access
Warning.
code.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor
Status
breach.
emergency.
Overload imminent.
Class 3
Warning.
reactor alert in
Reactor
effect.
breach.
Procedure. All personnel
Overload
must obtain a
Warning.
hard suit and
Reactor
proceed
breach.
in an orderly
Overload
fashion
imminent.
onto the landing
Warning.
platform. All non-essential
Reactor breach.
personnel have been
Overload
evacuated with the
imminent. Warning.
Helios,
Reactor breach.
designated dropship
Overload
number 2.
imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
All main
Overload
systems switch to
imminent.
full automatic
Warning.
self-diagnostic and
Reactor breach.
self-regulatory.
Overload imminent.
Emergency generators in operating room activated. All other subsystems offline. All non-essential systems shut off. Forklift bot control room is still operating on internal power supply. All other overrides below command 1 level. All other overrides below command 1 level codes rescinded.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent.
About this terminal.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent.
Data log.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning.
Results of tremors have rendered lower levels structurally unsound and impassable. System damage. Multiple subsystems damaged throughout base by 6th tremor. System damage. Short and force bar system on cell 1 of cell block. Malfunction in lighting system of cell 2. Short and force bar system on cell 3 of cell block. Cell block doors breached.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. 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 Overload imminent. Warning.
Oh, I see.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. 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 Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
I can control this thing.
This is a restricted area. 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 This is a restricted area.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent.
I didn't get it.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. 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 Reactor breach.
Oh, there we go.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor
This
breach.
is a restricted area. This 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 is a restricted area. This
That's the put down command. I gotcha.
This is a restricted area. This is a restricted area.
Okay, man.
Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor
So maybe that's close enough that I can pick it up, whatever that might have been.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor warning. Reactor breach. Overload.
Whoa! I can't tell if that's it or not.
A logbook.
A logbook. This is Ensign Mardic Dane of the reticulum merchant ship Stolanoy Agrippus reporting. I am writing this account in the unlikely event that it should ever find its way into the hands of the proper authorities. No doubt they are watching from the camera in my cell as I write. 15 days ago, we left Australia bound for Bormag, carrying medical supplies. Our trip had been uneventful until we experienced a small electrical fire on one of the subdecks that was quickly extinguished. What we didn't know at the time was that this fire had caused a power surge which traveled through our entire subsystems network and wiped a vital portion of data from our jump calculator. The emission of data was so slight that it was not detected by our redundant systems until after we had already made the jump to hyperspace. The strain placed upon our engines by the improperly calculated jump was so great that it took nearly 36 hours to power them down once the jump was underway. It is possible that while in misjump, we passed near some sort of spatial singularity which slingshotted us far beyond our normal jump capacity. When we finally returned to normal space, we had not only wandered off all charts, but we were also critically low on fuel. It is possible, although extremely unlikely, that RMF Rescue and Recovery could have calculated our position this far. There were no occupied planets within the range of our detection, and our jump driver was rendered inoperable. We set course for the nearest solar system. We subsisted on minimal rations and power, broadcasting a distress signal. After 11 days of boosting our transmission to its maximum, there was no response. Then it appeared as if a miracle had occurred. As we neared a gas giant, we received confirmation that our distress signal had been picked up. We celebrated, believing help was on the way. The next day we were attacked by 2 small military-type dropships. We did not intend to become the first RMF ship in history to surrender to pirates, so we fought back. The first dropship was destroyed, but we lost our weapons and propulsion to a missile barrage from the second one. 7 of the 27 members of our crew died in the battle, including Lieutenant Lynn Nance. We were dead in the water. It was then that we learned the identity of our attackers, Mondites. We were boarded, and 11 more members of our crew died in the room-by-room combat that followed over the next several hours. Among the dead was our captain, Lyson Rymerak, and our first officer, Finley Smiles. This sad set of circumstances left me in command of the survivors. 2 more men died as we attempted to reach the lifeboat. Our only means of escape cut off, and facing a full company of armored Marines, I gave the order to surrender. 3 of the men directly disobeyed my order and were subsequently killed by the attackers. During that exchange, another man attempting to surrender was also killed. The mercenaries then proceeded to raid a portion of our cargo, took the remaining 3 of us onto their ship, and blew what was left of the Agrippa's end of wreckage. She was 17 months away from being decommissioned. When I returned from this voyage in 3 months, I was to be married to my fiancée, Lana. I don't believe either one of us will be making it. The leader of this base is a man whom I believe to be a surgeon. I have seen him only once, when we were first brought here. He seemed very unconcerned with our presence, like he was preoccupied with something. The base seems to be a strange mixture of digging equipment, medical facilities, and little else. The world we are on is called Daedalus. It is certainly beyond the reach of the reticulum. It has probably never even been charted. Apparently it is run by an independent group of Mondites who are carrying out some sort of secret operation here. They obviously saw our accidental presence as a security threat. The only thing I do not understand is why they have left us alive. They must not suspect us of spying because none of us have been questioned. The reticulum has historically been highly unresponsive to the talking of political prisoners or hostages. I'm certain shall be quite worthless as a bargaining chip, though we must be of some use to them. As seen during the last moments of the Agrippa, simple mercy is not something that is characteristic of Mondites. It is impossible to judge the passage of time here. There is no view of the outside, and our lights are kept on constantly. We sleep in shifts at varying times and lengths. It is useless to count them. We have been here for days. Could it be weeks? Today, the 3 of us were escorted under armed guard and taken to some sort of medical center and physically examined. Once all of us were pronounced suitable, we were injected with some sort of chemical compound. And one man, a cargo handling specialist named Klima, it caused a devastating pain which left him writhing on the floor. He just lay there and could not get up, paralyzed with agony. Then the other one, Parks, a system maintenance tech, it caused what must have been horrifying hallucinations. He looked around constantly, sometimes dodging things that weren't there, waving his arms. I just sat there waiting to find out what would happen to me. A strange calm just came over me as I watched the other two go through their internal tortures. After several hours, it was over and they took us back to our cells. More tests the same as before. I saw the surgeon again, the base leader. He said the other results were inconclusive. Parks begged them not to inject him again. He fought them. I wanted to help him, but by then my injections had kicked in. All I could do was sit there passively as they forcibly injected him with the chemicals. This round of hallucinations were evidently more terrifying than the first, though. They had barely left the room when he began shrieking at the top of his lungs. He screamed and screamed until his voice completely broke, and then he was reduced to making these low guttural hisses. Klima had long since passed out from the pain, so I was the only one in the room to watch what happened next. I tried speaking to Parks several times, but he never once answered me. He just rolled around and around on the floor until I noticed the blood. It wasn't until the disturbance brought the guards back when I saw what had really happened. Parks had clawed out his eyes. He was laughing like an idiot when they took him away. Jeez. It was the last time I saw him. Park's cell is now empty. Only Klima and I remain. The leader of the base is a surgeon. His name is Mastava. I demanded to know where Parks was. His only response was, "In the lake." In the lake? He was utterly undisturbed by the fact that I am a merchant officer, that he has killed crewmen and destroyed a ship of the RMF and interfered with the circuit reticulum. The mercs had read our records. The reticulum would merely assume that we were lost in the jump. He looked at me from behind the blood-red mask he wore. "I have claimed your ship, its crew, and their respective remains by rights of salvage. That having been done, you are now my property." The medical tests are becoming increasingly torturous now. I was sedated and taken to the medical room. There all I remember is seeing some kind of robot. Then nothing but a dream about Lana. Her face, her dress, just like on the night the picture was taken. When I awoke, I had been returned to my cell. Only now I feel like my insides have been crushed and I am marked with a series of scars across my midsection. Klima does not respond when I call to him in his cell. Maybe they have him now. No one will tell me what they are doing to us, but I already know. Exploratory surgery. But why? They tortured us all on a regular basis, but they've yet to ask us a single question. I was taken back to the medical room, strapped onto the operating table and injected with something that made me increasingly lightheaded. This time Mastava was there in person, only I couldn't see him. I could only hear his voice telling me that this was the last of the preliminary examinations. If I completed this final test, I would be ready. He didn't tell me for what. I demanded to know where Klima was. His response was, "He died on that table you're lying on. Now he's with your other friend in the lake." Before I could say anything, I saw the arm of the robot come down over my body. I felt completely detached and unable to move as it began to burn an incision into my stomach. Mastava stepped forward and reached inside of me. He turned to me and asked, "This is just the beginning. I promise you there will be a lot to see. Would you like to stay awake?" I stared into his eyes for what seemed like hours. "No," I whispered. When I awoke, I was back in my cell alone. There's a new prisoner in the cell across from me. I cannot see him. He's lying unconscious in his bunk. At first I thought it might be Klima or Parks. Maybe another crewman from the Agrippa had managed to survive, but it wasn't. I've never seen this man before. It must be me he's talking about. There's something very large being moved into the cell next to mine. Parks must really be gone if they are putting his old cell to use. Whatever this thing is, it is enormously heavy, judging by the number of people and equipment they need to move it. Supervising this operation is another Mondite scientist. There's dirt on her uniform, as if she'd been digging. I heard someone call her Dr. Escher. Dr. Escher. Ordering the men. For her is the head guard that lurks around this cell block. His name is Kanan. Whatever is going on, or whatever is going into that other cell is certainly sounds like it's a major security problem. just starting to get my strength back from Dr. Mastama's examinations. I saw Kanan walking through the cell block. "What's in that cell?" I asked him. "Just something that'll probably kill us all, nothing for you to worry about." The man in cell 3 is either still unconscious or he keeps to himself. He does not respond when I call out to him. Over the last few days, I've seen Kanan walking around here looking increasingly nervous. I try to catch his attention, perhaps speak with him again, but he is all business. Still, there is something about him. His expression does not have the cold acceptance of the other guards. He is intensely in thought, and each movement is a jolt of released tension. How pathetic that my entire existence has been reduced to brief glimpses of people in the outside world. For all I know, I'm imagining these things in an attempt to occupy my mind, save it from the heart-stopping emptiness of imprisonment. I must hold on to the hope that I shall see Lana again. For the sake of my sanity, I must hold on to that hope. "The camera is off," said the voice, and I was surprised to see Kanan standing outside my cell. "They'll never let you out of here, never alive, you know that." I nodded. Kanan's eyes stared out into nowhere. "I've seen the things they're finding. More of them every day. Nightmarish. I mean, I thought what we do here was terrible enough. Do you want to get out?" I was overwhelmed in confusion and disbelief. Kanan stared at me, and I could see the realization come over him. He was thinking maybe he had made a mistake, that I might try to save my life by turning him in. As an officer and a gentleman, I never considered this as an option. When I cleared my head from the shock of what he was saying, I managed to give the approximation of a nod. "They say you're a flight officer," Kanan said hopefully. "Ensign, RMF," I replied, snapping to attention and saluting him with my academy best. It was his turn to give me a strange look. "Can you pilot a dropship, like the one you came here on?" I could. There's a dropship out on the platform. She was brought in on autopilot for maintenance. The crew and Marines on board are all in cold storage. You need to understand, we only get one shot at this. My ears strained to hear anyone else that might be listening. "When?" I said. "First we need your new neighbor. He's the chosen one. That's why you're nothing but an autopsy waiting to happen. They won't think twice about killing us, but maybe they'll want him back bad enough that..." He sounded less than convinced by his own words, and I sure didn't know what he was talking about. "Maybe," was all I could manage. When he looked at me for a reply, we both laughed nervously. At that strange and uneasy moment, we became like old friends. Jailer and prisoner closer than brothers, comrades in arms, about to go into battle together. Maybe for the last time. My personal access code number is 47745, he said. 47745. You might be able to use it to get out of a bad spot. But let's hope it never comes down to that. Before I even thought about it, I was giving him my last possession, the picture of Lana. "Who's this, the wife?" he asked. "Not yet, but she will be. You missed that during the search when they brought me here. I could be going home. This absolute miracle was so unlikely and absurd to me that I started giggling like a schoolboy." Kanan nodded like he understood and solemnly put the picture away without saying a word. He reached in between the bars of the cell and put something in my hand. Just as he did, I heard the doors to the cell block open, and I quickly put it behind my back. 3 more guards came into the cell block and opened the door to cell 3. The man inside walked out with guns pointed at him. Holding a hand in front of his weakened eyes, the new man slowly walked out of the cell block. The guards followed. As Kanan went, he looked back at me. He flashed me the sign of a 5. It wasn't until the cell block doors closed again that I allowed myself to even notice the reassuring, familiar metallic heaviness in my right hand, a blaster. It was fully charged. We failed. I have been recaptured, and Kanan is also a prisoner here now. That was the blue man. The man from cell 3 has been the subject of a monstrous experiment. He is no longer human. I don't know what he is now. For some period of time, they have simply been beating me into unconsciousness whenever I show signs of awakening. I suppose they've just gotten tired of it now. Today the guards came for Kanan. He fought as best he could, but in the end they took him away. No sign of life from Self 3. Kanan has been jabbering like a lunatic ever since they brought him back. He keeps screaming some conversation with his mother that must be going on inside his head. I can't see into his cell from here. I was awakened by the sound of an explosion in the cell block. 2 of the guards went to look in on Kanan. From what I heard, he must have mauled one of them really bad. Awesome. Kanan continues to get worse. All he does is growl and howl like an animal. The guards have just told me that it is now my turn to be taken to the operation room. This journal has reached an end. No matter what occurs, know that I always loved you, Lana. If I should somehow get the chance to write again, I would end. I guess he didn't get that chance. That's a lot of reading. I'm just gonna put that in my inventory. This guy's got all kinds of pockets, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm the mystery man. Dance break.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
Okay, 47,745, right?
Warning. Reactor breach.
Nope, nope, not this one.
Imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning.
Not that
Reactor
one?
breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
Excess.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent.
7,
Warning.
7,
Reactor breach.
4,
Overload
5.
imminent. Warning.
No Pong to take.
Reactor breach.
Oh.
Overload imminent. Warning.
Oh, that's what I need the arm for.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Warning. Reactor breach. Reactor breach. Overload.
A severed arm.
Reactor breach.
We shall make good use of this.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning.
Nope.
Reactor breach.
Pick that thing
A
back
severed
up.
arm.
Imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning.
No palm
Reactor
detected
breach.
against Reader.
Overload imminent. Reactor breach.
What Reader?
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
Severed arm.
Warning. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Reactor breach. Overload imminent.
A severed arm.
Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
Does that have something to do with this? Ah, that's it.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
Try again.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent.
Yeah.
Warning.
Oh, hey, it's not.
Reactor breach.
I don't know how to leave it there.
Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent.
Let's see what else is going on in this room.
Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
If anything.
Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach. Overload imminent. Warning. Reactor breach.
Is that a thing on the floor, or is that just... Oh, it is. It is something. I just thought it was a light reflection. Oh, dude.
This is a restricted area. 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 This is a restricted area.
I get it. Alright, now I gotta go back there again. Just, drop that off here real quick. I'll be right back.
A flute.
A flute? Dude can play the flute. I am supposed to check out these screens, I guess. Ah. That guy's got cool stuff in his cell. Guideless base. Homo sapiens. Inject legs with lubricant RE4 twice daily. Feed meat products only. Precede any entry with stun blast. Stay sharp. Subject is trained in combat. Species unknown. Keep under armed guard 24 hours. Alert senior officers of all changes. Retract beams only for guard change. Escape occurs apprehended at any cost. Homo sapiens. Feed with formula 4A 3 times daily. 6 injection serum 33 4 times daily. Enforce rest with sedation if needed. Restrain subjects left arm prior to entry. I don't remember which cell I was in. Undergo final transformation. New instructions to be posted after surgery is completed. Access denied. What's up with cell 2? Still can't get in there. So this, I think, is the only one that I opened up, but... What the... Oh, that's what I was seeing. Excuse me. Yeah, this is... Okay, this is my cell. Which is 3. Why is access into this cell denied? Okay, hang on, let me check it again. AP 127. Oh, there's a dude in there. Pick that arm up. You pick that arm.
A severed arm.
Okay. You take that. Okay. Oops. Yeah, just go. This thing's a bit of a pain to control. Not very intuitive. Excuse me. Okay. And then, do I drop it there, or? No. Oh, wow. Four, 7, 7, 4, 5. Guard Canaan active. Palm will open doors. Insufficient weight on floor panel to open door. Okay. Insufficient weight. Do I just need to walk over there? There we go. I did it. Sweet.